Welcome back to Every Woman. We are answering more of your questions on breast cancer with the doctors of Breastlink. So I'm going to ask, are there a certain group of women who are more at risk for breast cancer?
Absolutely. Yes. The women with a strong family history of breast cancer are at increased risk for breast cancer. And obviously, the closer that relative is to you, the higher the risk of breast cancer. So a first-degree relative will increase your risk more than a second-degree relative.
Okay, what about ethnic groups? Are there any ethnic
certainly
groups?
the Ashkenazi Jewish background is definitely a risk factor. And then there's what are the newer gene mutation groups from the South American women are at increased risk for gene testing.
Well, do you find as far as with, minority women, because I know personally with, my mom and my culture, we aren't really taught to touch ourselves or, do breast exams or things like that. So do certain cultures who have that kind of modesty, are they more prone to get breast cancer? And when they do get it, it's at later stages?
The two largest risk factors for developing breast cancer are simply being a woman and aging. And that crosses all ethnicities, all cultures, all boundaries. So I think that's really an important take-home message. Nobody is safe from breast cancer.
One of the big issues along that line is not so much risk of getting breast cancer, but delay in onset. And so we know that the underserved community, we're working with the Hispanic community right now, and we're trying to deal with some of the cultural issues that you deal with and not uncomfortable touching their breasts, uncomfortable going to a male doctor. We've put together a program that's quite exciting. We're taking out into the community. And what we would like to see happen is to shift these late diagnosis to early diagnosis. In doing so, we'll save lives and we'll save a tremendous amount of money. The cost of treating an early onset breast cancer is about $40,000, and almost all of them survive. The cost of treating an advanced cancer is close to $100,000, and most of them have recurrences, and the total lifetime cost is over $1 million, and they die. So the investment in the underserved community and getting those women, teaching them to do self-exam, get their imaging, catch it early, treat it aggressively, it'll save lives and it'll save dollars.
Let's not be shy, right?
Studies have also shown, though, that even if we do all these outreach programs, there's still, in the African American community, for example, they do tend to develop more advanced breast cancers, no matter what we do. So
they're more aggressive, too.
There is something we have to be aware of in some communities.
Well, let's talk about chemotherapy. I mean, it's so difficult on the body. Are there really other options? Because I know, there's so many people saying, oh, I don't need to do chemotherapy. I can take all these vitamins or fight it other ways. Is chemotherapy essential? Is there any other ways? Are there other options?
It is one form of adjuvant treatment after breast cancer has been diagnosed. We also have a wonderful endocrine therapy. Now that we know about estrogen receptors and progesterone receptors, there are pills that we can actually take instead of, in some cases, for some breast cancers, in lieu of chemotherapy.
And what if a woman finds, has surgery in one breast? I know with my mom, she found it in one breast, and her idea was she just wanted to have surgery on the other, remove both breasts, but her doctor said that was too aggressive. Do you try to, obviously it's on an individual case-by-case basis, but do you encourage people to do both breasts if they find it in one?
Oh, it is a very personal question and personal choice and difficult decision for patients. We try, as breast cancer surgeons, our job is to educate our patients about what the real risks are and then let them make a decision, an informed decision. We also have them see our plastic surgeon, Justin West, also to help them understand what reconstruction entails and what's going to be a part of.
And how do you convince women that it's not just about, vanity or beauty as far as reconstruction, that it really is about making them whole?
I don't think there's any convincing. I think that there's two very different types of women who come to see us. We have women who are healthy who come to us seeking to change the way their breasts appear. That's a cosmetic type of patient. Someone who's been given a cancer diagnosis is a very different mindset. They're worried about saving their lives first and foremost. And the focus that we really have is on returning them to so they look whole at the end of this process. Mastectomies that were done years ago, the reconstruction that was done years ago, was very disfiguring. And women would be very self-conscious to the point where they wouldn't be socially presentable, and people become really reclusive. With the reconstruction options that we have now, we can make people look really quite phenomenal. But I think that there's no question that reconstruction is just it's a totally different type of surgery. These aren't women who are coming because they want to look good. They want to feel whole.
Okay.
They want to be able to look in the mirror and not be reminded on a daily basis that I've lived through cancer.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that with your one-on-one on the panel. But we thank you so much for getting this information out and educating the public in all different groups. And like we said, let's not be shy. Let's find out about our cancers if we have them. Be aware of our breasts. Be aware of our bodies. If you want more information, you can visit the doctors at breastlink.com.